It's Bourbon Night live. Or is it Bourbon Night, Sarah?
I think it's more of like a Scotch night.
It's Scotch Night.
Scott and Scotch night.
It's Scotch Night.
Scotch night. I do love alliteration.
Alliteration is good. Yes, the man in the middle is Scott. He is from the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. He's also from the Scotch Test Dummies. He's from things that sound like his first name.
Did you say the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society?
Probably. It's hard to say. Yeah. Scott, why are you here?
Well, yeah. So let's do back
still
up a
haven't
little
told
bit.
us. I
Yeah.
know.
Well,
We just got here.
2013, Bart and I started the Scotch Test Dummies on YouTube. Mm-hmm. You guys came in a couple years later. We had kind of talked,
2016.
conversed.
Yeah.
I think we did a live stream or two before we actually met in person. Down at Austin at the Whiskey Vault down there, probably 4 years ago now. And then my involvement with the Scotch Test Dummies and the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society led to me getting a job with them last year.
Ah.
So
What
now,
a nice job.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's where your hobby turns into a job.
We know what that's like.
So yeah,
It's not bad, I gotta say.
I
It's not bad.
prefer it. Yes, I like it. Well, just real quick to start off the evening with our first super chat, which is from Toey Joni Chocolonely Bag of Donuts 78. He says,
I think you said Toey.
Toey. I'm just
Let's not weave that into the nickname. Let's not. Let's
Toey.
leave that one out.
Toey Tony. Did we get a new song, Chad? Good ear, but that one has been. That's sort of our little Pulp Fiction-esque kind of takeoff song.
We rarely use it.
It's been played before, but
are you calling me on a cell phone?
wait.
It's from Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah, well, it's been so long since I've seen Pulp Fiction. I need to see it again.
Prank call.
That's right. Yeah.
Chad, you know what you didn't do is bring over the cowbell. So we will have to get something in our glass to cheers
Ah, true.
for that super chat.
We will.
Oh.
We will. We shall. But
We shall. But before we do that,
yes, I wanted you to finish your origin story, or was that?
Oh, well, yeah. So anyway, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society and Chad and Sarah are die-hard bourbon fans right here in the heart of Kentucky.
It's true.
And I know even the times around Austin and on your shows, in your chats, I mean, people are always telling you, try some Scotch. And I think I've probably said the same to you.
I mean, yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
have,
can't
yeah.
blame you. But so many people enjoy it. I think it's just like a matter of like wanting to share and open up other people to the thing that you enjoy so much, which we do that with bourbon. So like we can't fault anybody for that. It's just been hard for us to really delve into it when our backyard is full of so much delicious bourbon that basically for 10 years or more in Chad's case, I feel like we've kind of been raised on it in a way.
Right.
So, but we're always looking to try new things. Like even if I don't find something I love and I'm going to go out and buy a bottle of, I find that tasting scotches helps me, kind of brush up on my nosing and tasting notes and things. Like I taste new things and now I can identify that in other things that I'm tasting.
That's right.
So I think it's fun.
Yeah.
What I really like is this little chart, and I know you've got a couple of things to take us through tonight, but I love color-coded things, so I'm very excited.
So the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society is Scotch-centered. It started in Scotland in the 1980s, a group of friends sourcing single cask whiskeys. So 99% of what we do are single malt, cask strength, single barrel scotches. Last few years we've branched out. We've done some American whiskeys. We've done a few rye, some bourbon, some corn whiskeys. We've had a few rums, Armagnacs, cognacs, things like that. Yeah, all single barrel cask strength versions. We have the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society has 12 flavor profiles as we break down our whiskeys that are color coded. And so I wanted to bring a few of these. Now I didn't want to do all 12 with Chad and Sarah tonight. That wouldn't be pretty. Well, it might be entertaining, but it wouldn't be pretty. So I have 5 different whiskeys though from 5 different flavor profiles. I want to try these bourbon lovers and just see if maybe one of these 5 flavor profiles from the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society fits their palate. Maybe more than one does.
I'm down.
I'm very excited about that. I mean, I'm way more open to it now that there's color coding. No, but nobody's ever really presented Scotch to me in that way before. It's always just been like, is it extra peaty or is it not peaty? And so we've always kind of just gone on this scale of, I know I don't like really heavily peated stuff, but I've never seen it broken down into these types of categories. So I'm actually really excited
Okay.
to try some of these.
Okay.
What should we try first?
Let's go. I'm going to go with the youngest one that I've got, which is in the one of the purple categories, or our
Purple.
spicy and sweet. So this is our bottle, the label and the design. The Scotch Malt Whiskey Society does use a distillery coating. So the code on this bottle is 80.23, and then we name our bottles as well, Perfectly Prickly. But this is a 9-year-old Speyside. We put our casks that they're aged on the label as well. So this is a first fill ex-bourbon hogshead, and there were only 208 bottles of this. 58.6% ABV.
Okay, so at least it's in that
Should we go-
proof hound area that we like
Sure.
so much.
Should we go Copitas to start out with?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. I know you Scotchy people like them Copitas. So do we. So do we. And while we wait for our dram, as you all also say, our next super chat is from JG Wentworth, 877 mash now. Whiskey cheers, this will be fun. 877 mash now.
He knows his jingle
Yes.
by heart.
And then also from Doug here with a $10 super chat saying, teach them something, Scott.
He said, learn him something.
Well, for the super chats, you're right, Sarah. We didn't bring in our bell, so let's just all cheers.
Cheers.
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Oh, we're drinking. Okay, I went into nosing. Sorry.
I followed his lead.
Habit.
I felt like you were going to say something before Chad did that super chat cheers. But I don't know.
I was,
It's okay.
and I forgot.
Was
It's
it
gone now.
important?
At first, like, I really like the flavor when it first hits my tongue. Like, I really got all that spicy and sweet that and the purple category is talking about.
I can taste the purple.
You can taste the purple.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Chad.
There's All right, so we're going to be a little bit slower because this isn't our normal flavor profiles. So I'm thinking how to use my words here.
Yeah, it's very different.
It's almost like citrus peel
Yeah.
specifically. Mm-hmm. I don't know what citrus though yet. Lemon to orange.
But it also kind of makes me think of biting into like a slightly underripe plum. Like it's almost ready. It gives you like a little bit of you know, when you bite into something like fruit wise, if it gives you like a little bit of pushback, like it's not quite ready, you know?
Gives you a
gotta
little
wait another
slap.
day. Like a pear, when a pear's not really ready, there's some resistance there.
Yeah.
But I can almost picture biting into a plum. What do you think?
Yeah, it's all perfect. Now, and so citrus, a lot of times, sometimes all I'll get is like, well, I'm getting some citrus notes, but I can't necessarily discern what type of citrus it is. But sometimes you're like, no, it's like a lemon zest, it's like an orange peel, you know, maybe a pear. Maybe you can narrow it down. Sometimes maybe it's just that citrus note. It's just a light citrusy note. This one there's a lot of fruit showing in this one.
Yeah.
Agreeing really with everything that you guys said. So what about, and we didn't, let's just hit the nose real quick too,
Yeah.
because we did skip it.
We
skip
did.
it.
What did,
We were excited.
yeah.
Well, we're cheersing.
But I get every bit of that like,
Cilantro was said.
sweet and spicy balance on the nose too. I'm trying to pinpoint what that spice is.
I get, like, from the nose, I would say that this is lower proof, you know, without knowing. And you said this is
58.
58.6.
Which is math for Chad.
Which is math. So we're just going to stick with ABV tonight, folks. We're in Scotch.
117.2? Is that right?
Sure. I won't double
that
check
wrong?
you.
I
He wasn't listening.
58.6 would be, 117.2.
I did it. Are you guys proud?
Does not, and maybe it's because I'm not used to nosing scotches, but if this were a bourbon that was giving off this aroma, I would not think it would be north of 100, you know?
I see what you're saying. It kind of gives off that, like, it smells almost like it's going to be more mellow, which it is still, like, mellow and sweet with a little hint of spice on the palate, but
Yeah.
it has, like, as it closes in on the finish and really settles into your chest, I think it really shows that proof.
Yeah, I agree. Sarah, you can read some super chats over there, right?
I could,
You're
if
set
I
up.
wanted to.
We got our next one here from Sean Dobbins, if you want.
Who says, sipping on my favorite scotch so far, 24-year Speyside single malt finished in sherry casks from Kirkland, Costco. It's darker than a lot of bourbons.
Now, what part of Scotland is Costco?
Stop.
Is that
It's-
an island? Is it?
What an
Yeah,
jerk.
it's a little mythical,
So there's
actually.
Speyside. Is the
There's-
Isle? Is there?
It's like one of those places you
Costco.
gotta like solve the riddle to get in. Like you
Right.
gotta pull the right stone. And then...
Highlands, Lowlands, and then Costco? Is that how it goes? Is it?
It's somewhere in that region.
Okay.
It's
the
been
Costco
around for
region.
so long, people aren't actually sure. But
I hear
in
it's
there.
bigger than it looks, and you can get lost pretty easily. Pretty easily.
now all I'm thinking
I
of
did
is like
show-
Costco from
Costco.
Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco.
I did think
love you.
earlier from Doug's super chat and his comment where he says, teach them something, Scott. I would say I'm not here to teach you guys anything. I'm here to maybe open your eyes a little bit and just maybe, hopefully,
I'll have none of
one of these scotches, just maybe just a little bit.
I'm looking for like a Scotch Sherpa, like someone to guide me on my spiritual Scotch
I
journey
like it. I can tell you one thing,
to
Sarah.
the top of the mountain.
We may need to pour these ourselves next time.
I did go a little heavy. Sorry
I
about
was
that.
like, as soon as I saw
alright.
you pour that, I was like, I can't finish that.
Yeah.
Should have brought more glassware
It's
tonight.
totally fine.
I just got a little burnt toffee,
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Good on
a
you.
little raspberry drizzle on it.
You know, I can
You stop. You stop. You're getting take
Eek.
I
this
can
flannel
get
off
the
over here.
raspberry like very faintly on the nose.
Is it hot in here? Well, you do have your coat on.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
so,
Christmas if the stores
you know
weren't
what?
any hooter than they are?
I could see me
Hotter than they
drinking
are.
this. Like
I can see you drinking it too.
this, but this is one of the first ones I've had where like I would. It's hard for me to say, okay, if I'm at a bar or if I'm at a restaurant, like in a sea full of bourbon, would I order that Scotch if I have all these options? This is like one of the first ones that I've had where I'm like, yep, I would buy that. Like I would
Good.
buy this bottle, I would drink it.
Good.
Which is not to
Good.
say that all Scotches are bad except for the ones that Sarah likes. No, not at all. I'm just not there, you know?
Right.
I'm an intro beginner level.
You're just a baby deer
I'm just
learning
a
to
little
stand up.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple more super chats. Sarah.
Oh, okay. Mamuka 1977 says, "Cheers,
Whoops.
ladies and gentlemen. Wish you all a wonderful evening with Deanston, 18-year-old."
Good. It's a good
Did I
one.
miss one,
Good
Charles?
one.
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
Here's the next one.
And Thrasher says, First, Shelf Turds on the likes last night. Now, Scotch Dummies on It's Bourbon Night. Worlds are colliding. Good to see these collabs. Yeah, we love to do a good collab.
Synergy.
Scott said he was coming through town, and we were like, of course.
Yep.
Of course we want to hang out. And Trash Man won. That just reminds me of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. When I die,
Oh.
just throw me in the trash.
Yeah.
Says, glad to see my favorite Scotch dummy got his taste back post-COVID. Although I think you and Sarah would claim that he hasn't if he likes a taste of Scotch. I see. No,
We were just talking about that earlier. So I had COVID October of 2020. Now,
which is literally a year and a half ago.
16 months. Yeah.
So 2 more months, it would be a year and a half. No,
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everything is back now. Just within the last couple weeks, I think my smell is back. That had been hanging on. But I still have smell distortion with certain, I would say, putrid smelling things. Gasoline, onions, garlic, anything that just has a really
Like a really strong, pronounced.
strong smell. It all smells like a strong chemical.
Which makes me really sad because I love garlic. If garlic smelled like really strong and off-putting, I'd be
Gasoline.
so sad. I put garlic on everything. I'm a garlic girl.
Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
It's true, I do.
Great commercial.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, and Chad touched on a little bit on the regions. So Scotland, you'll have whiskies or Scotch from different regions. This is a Speyside. You've got the Highlands, you've got the Lowlands, the Islands, the Isla. So, and we've got kind of a range here tonight. So
I'm also excited about getting to try the different regions. We have talked about taking a trip over to Scotland to just like throw these two bourbon people in the deep end. Just throw them in there, see if they swim. I think it'd be fun.
I will have to look to see which regions I brought, because I focused more on getting 5 different flavor profiles, just to kind of see if
you
there
thought
was.
that we would like.
Well, no, just 5 different ones that I thought,
Okay.
let's see which one may or may not align with a bourbon palate.
I gotta say, I like this one.
First
I'm
one's
a
a hit?
fan. First one's
Good.
a hit with me. I
Yeah.
don't know about Chad.
Yeah, there's
I would pour another glass. Like if this is all we were having tonight, I would pour more.
to to put it in a even more like just pedestrian describing note. I would say I get a little bit of Sprite, lemon lime, right? And it's sort of like on the
But that also
finish.
like that crisp, almost like a green apple.
It's crisp. It's like like a lot of cocktails are that might use even like ginger beer.
I was gonna say
For that-
ginger beer
that
is what you're making me think of.
Crispness of Sprite, 7-Up, ginger beer in a cocktail. That's just a bourbon guy describing a Scotch, but that's why I wanted to say it. I don't want to hold anything back
But
on this episode. Even if I'm saying I taste Sprite,
Yeah.
I want to
Fair
say
enough.
it.
I
no
do think
filter. Hashtag no filter on this episode.
I
something-
told you guys to be honest, and
Yeah.
give me
we
what
do
you're getting.
appreciate that.
We're gonna-
We can't help but be ourselves. So, I think something that Scott mentioned, but that we haven't really talked about. We've just been naming, I think, the fruity notes. But I do think, like, you definitely get the oaky influence and a little bit of almost. You said toffee. Like, I think, toffee caramel. I mean, it's not super strong and pronounced to me, but it's
Yeah.
in there with those fruits.
Slight oak, vanillas.
It almost,
Yeah.
I can smell those like bourbon. What I associate with bourbon normally, like those slight
Yeah.
influences in there, which is nice.
You can definitely tell by the color we're not in Kentucky anymore, Sarah.
If you click your heels 3 times, Chad,
There's no place like
still be in
Kentucky.
the basement.
That's fine.
So this is a brand new. This just came out with our. So we do the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society does 2 outturns basically a month. An outturn at the first of the month, and then we do a mid-month outturn, which is a little bit smaller release. The first of the month, I think we had 12 bottles that came out. This one just came out at the first of the
12,
month,
wow.
and is and then there's 4 coming out next week. So but
like
this
a-
one's still available on the website smwsa.com.
smwsa.com.
Yeah, smws.com will take you to the UK website.
Which is also valid, but if you live in America, then you probably
Can't-
go to
yeah,
SMWSA.
SMWSA
For shipping
America.com.
reasons, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, 12 is a lot, And if you're members, I think it's cool that you have 12 different options to kind of select from, even though I'm sure that they are each limited, right? So you kind of got to
Yeah.
be on your game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like that, maybe you don't need to catch them all, right? Every 12, 2 times a month or however many, but that you have that option of seeing what's out there, what's being released, and the different varieties, and being able to choose. That's cool.
So the way the SMWS does it as well. So this I mentioned briefly at the first is 80.23. 80 is the 80th distillery that we've bought whiskey from.
Oh, okay.
So now the SMWS, we don't release what distillery is what. There are resources out there on the internet where people can find out what the distillery
you got to
codes
do a
are.
little sleuthing.
But then the 23 means this is the 23rd cask that we've bought from
From that
distillery number
distillery.
80. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So-
that means you must like distillery number 80.
That's
had
pre-
23 of them.
That's pretty low actually. That's a newer
Really?
distillery. Yeah, we're up. There's one here tonight that I've 200. I think 200
Oh,
or
my
300
goodness.
casks.
Wow.
Catching about some super chats here. We got one from Wayne saying, "Yay, I get to use my copitas."
Yay.
Wayne, you can always use your copitas, even if we're drinking from our Glencairns. But that's nice. You're mirroring us. That's very cool. And then from Michelle Martin says, "We tend to stick with Highlands and Spacesides since I can't take any peat. Cheers to worlds colliding." Well, thank you, Wayne and Michelle.
I will always take the opportunity to become educated,
Absolutely.
right? I'm never going to be like, no, I love knowing nothing about this. I'm just going to live in my own little corner of the world forever. I can't promise that it's going to be my new most favoritist thing, but I want to try it.
Yeah. And I mean, there's, some people I think are just gonna like bourbon. They're not
Right.
gonna like Scotch. Some people will like both. Some people will just like Scotch and not like bourbon.
Yeah.
But give it a go. Give it a try.
Sure.
I feel like most of our viewers applaud us, broadening our horizons. We'll have a few people who are like, "No, don't
Stick to
don't
bourbon."
please don't drink Scotch," because they don't like it.
Worry not. We will
Which
not
is-
become the next Scotch expert on YouTube. It won't happen.
No.
We'll leave that to the professionals.
Yeah, that Scotch night is tonight and tonight only.
You know what we did? We didn't add water to that first one. Did
Oh,
we?
we did not.
We did.
But yes, I mean, you guys were both
I
impressed with it,
forgot-
though. Neat.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
the droppers.
I poured a little less.
Thank
Oh,
you.
the
Thank you.
droppers.
I forgot the droppers.
I
So
can go grab that.
if you feel like we need it, we're trusting you, Scott, to guide us. If you feel like we need a
If
dropper.
well, I mean, let's do try with water because some of
Yeah.
these will change with water.
John Dobbins is asking, did Scott bring any Ardbeg?
Or you know what
Which
a pirate's favorite whiskey is?
Ardbeg.
Ardbeg.
But you can't legally say if you brought any or not. But
Yeah,
if you look at the codes, like you said, then
yeah.
I'm sure that you've had a bottle from there.
I got my coin number 215.
Oh, there you go.
It's Bourbon Night Challenge.
I do not have my coin handy, so I
Texas on
guess
it.
I have to buy the next drink. Good thing they're all free.
right there that you can grab.
Good thing they're all free.
All right, well, while Chad's getting some water droppers, the next one we're going to look at, this is from the spicy and dry profile, which these are color coded, where this one has the purple top. It's got a purple stripe down the side. That's showing you it's in the spicy and sweet profile. This one's more the khaki, the yellow color. That's our spicy and dry profile.
Spicy and dry.
This one is a 13-year-old from Speyside. It's been aged in a second fill ex-bourbon barrel. So you should get less impact from the wood here. It's had bourbon in it, and then it got sent to Scotland, and it had Scotch in it.
And then
And then this is basically the third run for this barrel.
intriguing.
So they get less. It allows you to age the whiskey longer because there's less impact from the wood, and you actually get a closer look at the distillate from the distillery with some of these second fill or even third fill barrels. Yeah,
Interesting.
and you also see usually a lighter color in the whiskey as well because it's the third time that barrel's had whiskey in it.
I see what you mean. And I see what you're saying here, too. Like, this is distillery number 6, selection number 53. That is more than the last one.
Yeah.
I thought 20-something was a lot.
Yeah, so this is cask number 6.53. The name on this one is fresh from the replicator, and 57.9% ABV.
57.9?
Yeah. Yeah.
115.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree.
Oh, I'm doing so good.
You bourbon drinkers and your proofs.
I'm like, wait, I gotta do math real quick. I probably make ugly faces while I do math. Awful math face.
So generally the spicy and dry profile, you're not going to get as many of those fruits. We were getting a lot of those orchard type fruits, the citruses and stuff. We're probably not going to get that here, but let's
No,
see.
I agree. I think this one is less fruity.
It's more oaky,
I have water.
peppery,
I was gonna say that, peppery.
a little bit of citrus in there.
A tiny bit, but it's hanging more towards like the back. It's not the front, not the first thing that's jumping out at me. Oh, look what you did.
I think that's regular water.
Almost, okay, but I would say if I'm getting any fruit, I'm getting like a fresh melon, almost like a honeydew or a cantaloupe.
Okay.
All right, bring me up to speed.
So this is 13-year spicy and dry profile
Uh-huh.
from Speyside, and it's been aged in a second fill ex-bourbon barrel. So it's the second time Scotch has been in it.
Ah.
It had bourbon, Scotch, and now this whiskey. Our cask number is 6.53 on this one, 57.9% ABV.
Okay.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, has it been like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something? Someone has replaced me with someone who likes Scotch. I don't understand what's happening. No, I like this one too.
I would keep in mind you like high proof bourbons. We're drinking high proof
proof.
scotches.
Yeah.
And I mean, definitely not bottom shelf. I mean,
No.
these are hand picked, hand selected casks. Our tasting panel in the UK does an excellent job of sourcing these, and we really don't release it until it's ready. So
There's something
Yeah.
else on the nose.
One
It
more sort
smells kind of. I'm trying to place it. I want to say like a blondie, so like a butterscotch brownie.
Okay.
But with that melon note that I was talking about too.
For sure.
Wow.
I know that's weird.
This one is also sort of like the last one, like crisp and refreshing.
It is crisp and refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I like it.
There's not really anything that I dislike about this, but being a bourbon fan, if I stayed in these two categories all night, I feel like I would start to miss more deep dark oak.
But see, if it was like June or July or August, this would be perfect for me.
Sure.
This feels very much like, even though it is higher proof, the flavors and like the experience of that refreshing thing that I'm getting, I feel like I can't drink, a really high proof, heavy, dark bourbon in the middle of summer. It's just too heavy. It's too hot for all that.
It's too hot.
It's too hot for penguins.
This is spicier than the last one.
It
more
is
peppery.
a little more peppery.
It's a little bit more astringent, a little drier, a little bit more oak. I mean, being a second fill, there shouldn't be as much oak influence here, but it's actually almost like I'm getting a little bit more oak on the palate. There's definitely not as much of those fruits on this one. A little bit of citrus, but there's no raspberry, there's no plum, there's none. I'm not necessarily getting cantaloupe or melon, not that you're not. Sarah, I'm sure you are.
I don't like cantaloupe and melon, so it's weird to me when I smell it. I'm like, oh, that kind of reminds me of this thing I don't like, but it tastes good.
This one is giving me more prickliness on my tongue, front of tongue, more of the tingles, a little bit more of a tongue punch, if you will, comparative to the last one.
When I go back to, again, we have like a dump glass for our first one, which will soon become muddied with all of our ones.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Uh-oh.
Slammed my
So
last one.
I'm not going to drink out of it, but in nosing them back to back, I'm almost getting more of like a whipped cream, vanilla, like sweeter, lighter, almost like, marshmallow or something like that, light, fluffy.
From the first one that we did.
From the first one that we did. When I'm comparing them, now that I have
Okay.
something to compare it to and I went back, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely getting something more like, I mean, you tell me. Yeah. Could just be me.
No?
Huh? That is interesting. Huh.
It smells like dessert fluff or something. It's nice.
Dessert fluff.
I like it. It makes me
Whipped.
want to sip out of that glass again, and I can't. I mean,
Something
I could.
that's been whipped, yeah.
But
Definitely the sweet part of the spicy and sweet to me on that one, the fruitiness and the spice being a little bit more cinnamon, nutmeg kind of type spice, where this one is more like a white pepper.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I see that.
This one is brand new as well, or is from the February outturn and is available on the website as well.
Ooh.
So,
I like this one.
So I guess I haven't touched on it either. So the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society is a society. We are a club. It does
Secret
take
handshake?
a secret handshake involved. You have to wear a
flannel.
lapel pin, a flannel. I'll wait till we get done. We do have a special that's running this week for YouTube and for Valentine's Day coming up. But I'll wait till we get done with our tasting and throw that at you. But do go to smwsa.com and you can get more information on the society and what we do, what we're about, details. So, and I'm running the YouTube channel as well for the SMWSA. I can't even talk. SMWSA. So go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us on there as well.
Do it.
Yes, do it.
Do it. Now, should we add some water to this guy?
Yes, let's do that. Let's do
Let's do with it. Please show us what amount you're talking about here.
You know, this is you hear the phrase a drop. If I'm drinking something that's close to 60%, a drop means 2 or 3 drops of water, depending on how much you have. So
it's really just that much.
Yeah.
I just have like a tiny bit left. Perfect.
probably good.
Yeah.
What's your stance on the swirl? Swirl or no swirl? Don't care. Whatever suits you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
I did it before when you handed me that one, and I went to nose it. I swirled it.
It's funny, even at tastings now, after we've been doing this for so many years, like if we're in an event, and this sounds awful to say, but like if someone, is like a total stranger, right? Somebody who doesn't know us, which is normal. Like, you shouldn't know us. Sees, you doing this, they're like, you shouldn't really you shouldn't swirl your whiskey.
You're just
I'm like,
kicking up ethanol.
you should mind your own business.
Well, you know what you can do? If
Distillers,
you feel like
master distillers do this.
you have kicked up that ethanol, blow in your glass.
That's what Chad says. The Chad trick.
Well, I didn't make that up, but that has been said to me.
For what?
If you are just mainly getting ethanol, not hard to get in your nose, blow in your glass.
I'll tell you, I also learned just a while back, I figured out, I just kind of blew just a little, just give a little in there to help, and it brings some of the scents out to you, if it's high ABV.
I mean, that makes sense, though. You're just forcing,
forcing it out of the glass up at you,
Yeah.
and it actually, with a higher ABV whiskey, to me, you can help you get things maybe you weren't getting before.
Gotta say, oh, sorry.
I could see cantaloupe or maybe even a honeydew, a little bit of a tropical fruit note.
I'm getting like a tropical fruit. When you get like a fruit cup with your meal or whatever, and it's usually just like melons and pineapple or something.
Well, there you go, Scott. Kilco.
I was gonna say,
Whiskey
shout
Museum
out to
there,
Kilco.
Dropping the link to the YouTube channel.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
give it a sub.
Thank you, Kilco. Yeah, Kilco was down
Another
at
Austin person.
Yep, down at Austin this year.
Yep.
Ooh. I like it with the water, but I liked before a little bit more of that kick from that pepper, and like I feel like it toned down the oak even just a tiny bit more, but I liked that. So
It made it a little
are
sweeter.
you surprised
It
that
did
I
make it
like it
sweeter.
at barrel
Yeah.
proof? Are we surprised
It did.
that I like barrel proof?
I mean, typically when it comes to adding water to bourbon, sort of our little in-house rule is we don't do it unless we're over 100 proof, just because why bother if you're less than that. Just our rule, though. No judgment if you do, of course. Drink it any way that you like. But typically, I would say 9 to even 9.5 times out of 10, if that's possible, we usually like it sans water. But I do like this one with water.
I mean,
I
I
do
like
too.
it with water, but
I
I
do
liked
want
it better
to.
without water. I don't know. I think I might be team first one. I like
Really?
them both, though.
I think I might be more on
The second one. Okay.
yellow.
More of a yellow fan.
More
Okay.
of a yellow fan. Zoop.
Thank you. So we're using the same glass for these first three because you had said before the show that they were kind of more similar.
Well, they were the lighter. These are the 3 lighter profiles. We're going to get into. I've got our juicy oak and vanilla profile next. After that, we're going with deep, rich, and dried fruits, which is a sherry monster, and then a peated one after that. So they kind of
kinda scared.
they might taint a glass.
We have fresh glasses.
What about a taint now?
Chad, this is not that kind of episode. We have fresh glasses for those pours because they will probably be. They'll probably
We
need
have a
their
guest,
own.
Chad.
We don't want them to contaminate each other. We want the full experience. So
We're gonna. I don't think we're gonna have room for all 5
Yeah, we
bottles.
can
That's
split
why
it.
I was gonna
we could
just move them.
should make room on our thing back here.
you could have. Chad, you should have done that before the
I
show.
know.
we're
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, a lot of things.
You blew it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will move on in our flavor profiles. The middle blue or juicy oak and vanilla profile next.
That sounds delicious.
Vanilla.
This one is called Full Frontal Fruit Bowl.
Hello.
Okay.
That brings to mind definite images.
There's imagery.
We should have told everybody that this episode may contain some full frontal.
That is true. Nice little disclaimer. at
That
the
would have
front.
gotten the clicks.
Yeah.
Our cask number on this one's 46.11. So 46 distillery that the SMWS has sourced whiskey from, and this is the 111th cask from that distillery.
So many.
This is an 11-year-old. Oh, it's another Speyside. See, I didn't check my regions. I was just looking at the color codes on these.
Just looking at
I'm
colors.
excited.
And it's been aged in a first fill ex-bourbon barrel, 56% ABV.
Now this might be a little off topic. I mean, it's about Scotch.
Okay, well, I was gonna say I have something on topic, but go for it, Chad.
Now, this is something that I've always wondered about, and you being more on the Scotch side, I would like to ask your opinion on it. It's from a comment here from Eric saying, Chad, this is a Scotch episode. Keep it classy. Do you feel like the allure or the mystique around Scotch,
The perception.
perception, thank you, is it is a it's a gentleman who is in a smoking jacket, who is sophisticated, is drinking Scotch.
It has to be so many years old.
Yeah, it's got and then the perception around bourbon I guess because it comes from Kentucky, and Kentucky is
Or America,
can
just-
be considered. I mean, yeah, I'm talking about more like perceptions that have been a little older, back before bourbon was all over the U.S. Kentucky, and that is still considered the South, even though we're as much north as you can go in the South. That it's good old boy,
Like a hillbilly whiskey?
banjo music. But you see, when I was getting into bourbon, I didn't, and I'm born in Kentucky. I'd never had that perception. It was never, when I had bourbon nights and had friends over, I would put on like Frank Sinatra, and I thought that we were being classy. And my perception of bourbon has always been it is a classy, sophisticated drink, because it's not. It has the story behind it. It has the heritage and all this and that. Do you think though the Scotch has more of that perception of it? It is the classiest of classy things for someone to drink.
I think that used to be the case, and I think a lot of Scotch drinkers and your older ones may still be, rooted into that tradition, but over the last 10, 15, 20 years, and I think even the whiskey industry, and talking to some people, talking to the distillery manager at Ardbeg in Isla, she could remember kind of that switch, and it was about 20 years ago where it went from kind of the snobby, pretentious, ooh, this is my whiskey.
Well, yeah, and I didn't
And
even
it
mean
became-
like even snobbery being involved, but just like if you the classic bachelor party, we want to splurge, we want to treat our boy to something
single malt Scotch.
really classy.
cigars.
Scotch. They're saying Scotch instead of bourbon. When in our mind, or at least
Or just any other whiskey.
yeah, or any other whiskey, sure. I don't want to speak for you, Sarah, but in my mind, like for me, that would be bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon. Give me those 4 words: Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, but then I'll obviously tell you something else, so you don't bring me Jim Beam, white label.
Are you too good for Jim Beam White Label?
Well, it's 80 proof, Sarah. I think we're beyond that.
All right.
A little bit. But, so there's me being snob now. But yeah, so I guess I wasn't really even meaning snobby, but you're saying that whole perception has kind of gone away now?
More accessible, I think, is what you're saying.
There's a lot less people, I think, that feel that way. Yeah, I think, well, even talking to both of you, getting into bourbon in your 20s.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's a young age. People do it. I think they're doing it more and more now. But when I was growing up, I mean, nobody drank whiskey outside of, a Jack and Coke.
Right.
It was always mixed with something.
Right, yeah.
And so I think, and it's probably just been over that last 20 years where you've seen it, that, the whiskey boom, especially the bourbon boom, has just brought in so many people and so many new, younger people into whiskey. And that's kind of what, we want to do at the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society as well, is we don't want to be pretentious. We want it to be accessible. And we want to, people feel like they're talking to a real person.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I think that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. And Chad, I would argue
Yeah.
that a lot of people today, after all the press that bourbon has gotten in the past, 10 years, I'd say a lot of people today who aren't into bourbon at all would be very intimidated to get into it, because when they picture bourbon, they think the first thing that comes to their mind is Pappy Van Winkle and how unattainable it is and how
Yeah.
they've never had it and probably never will. And, that's scary to try to get into a community or a group where there's this, golden unicorn thing or
Golden
whatever.
unicorn.
I don't know, some sort of a golden goose egg. I don't know.
No, it's funny you say that, Sarah, because that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Is I do think some people are intimidated to get into whiskey in general because they feel like, they go to a bar and they see, someone with a glass shaped like this, and they're doing the, and this stuff, and it can look silly from an outside perspective. For us, we're all used to it, and we're sort of all in the club together. But you step outside of that, and it's like.
For someone who's unfamiliar, it seems intimidating.
What are
and
wrong
I
with
would
these people?
argue that bourbon, especially around our area, has gone the opposite way of Scotch, whereas Scott is saying that it's gotten more approachable. I would say that with the boom around bourbon and how people do get pretentious about it, it's almost, not worse off than it was 10 years ago, but I'd say it was much more casual 10 plus years ago when everything was readily available on the shelf.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think that, you know, and all these limited editions and new releases and finished projects and things coming out every year that are $100, $200, $300. I feel like maybe it's bourbon has become more pretentious. This is a good topic for maybe another episode.
Yeah, we could spend a whole
I want to talk about this
just on that. Let's get back to the Scotch.
I really feel like juicy oak and vanilla is the perfect description for the nose of this.
Yes, and I also, so when I looked at or thought of flavor profiles, I thought for a bourbon lover, this could be pretty much in line with a bourbon lover's palate.
Okay.
Juicy oak and vanilla.
Yeah,
So-
it smells delicious. I'm excited about this one.
I'm going to leave that comment from Sunday Evening Scotch up there on screen if anyone at home wants to read it. I think it's germane to what we were just talking about. Yeah,
point.
this one is getting more barrel influence.
I do get more barrel influence.
in my nose.
I like it a lot.
A lot of cream, a lot of vanilla.
Yes,
They're
the
making fun
vanilla
of
is
my
there.
golden unicorn.
It's a golden
Diamond unicorn, golden
It's
horse.
It's a rainbow
know what it's called.
unicorn. It poops ice cream.
The prize. I'm not sure. Yeah,
Since
that
I
like
just dinged, I
oaky
forgot
vanilla.
to turn off. Let me silence that.
You may silence it.
Silence!
Please silence your laptop, sir.
Silence!
Ah, do not disturb. Love that button.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing on my phone. I'm like, nope. Gotta have some sacred time to myself.
A little bit of maltiness showing on this one. Citrus fruits again, lighter citrus fruits.
Uh-huh.
I almost get
56 even.
really light cherry.
112.
Not like a Luxardo cherry or
Right.
anything like that, but almost like a cherry flavored something.
Little cherry lozenge.
You know, I was actually gonna say, strangely, like a cherry slushy,
Okay.
but
yeah.
like that type of cherry, like
a cherry
light,
icy. Yeah.
yeah, that light cherry. You know. So I think this was my favorite nose, but it is for me the most intense on the finish.
It goes dark in a different way than like when we say that with bourbons.
Yeah.
It's going almost smoky.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
I don't want to say ashtray because that is obviously a negative sounding connotation, but sort of like that.
Well, like when you're smoking a cigar, like the taste that's in your mouth.
You
Is that what you're
smoked
saying?
it 20 minutes ago. You're not currently smoking it, but you have
A
smoked.
bit of that flavor, like tobacco-y.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because we don't
No,
smoke.
I would say, okay, tobacco leaf, like, yeah, if maybe you were sucking on the cigar. Not the smoke, not peaty. There's no peat here. You could get, sometimes you will get a little bit of barrel char showing. There's definitely a maltiness here sometimes that some people will pick up as like a light peat.
I like the maltiness, though. I think it is the tobacco influence for me on the finish paired with that maltiness that's like a little more intense for me. And so I thought the nose and like at the first, you know, when it first touches my tongue, I'm like, oh, I really, really like that. But like when it settles into the finish, that's when I'm like, maybe this is a little intense for me.
So I
Okay,
can't
3
remember,
drops?
Scott, if you gave these bona fides yet or not, but we're looking at an 11-year-old. And the tasty notes that they give is a wonderfully rich, sweet, syrupy, and decadent fruit dram, a veritable cornucopia of wood spices, resins, jams, herbs, teas, and maltiness.
Jams and herbs. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
so I feel like that's,
Do you
pretty
want
good
a
amount of
couple
that.
drops?
Yeah, I'll do some drops. Let me get
And
one
what's the
more sip.
proof on this one? Did we say?
112.
Nice even number. Like that.
Yeah.
56. That's
Make that math
56%
easy.
for us Scotch drinkers.
I was just asking you earlier before the show why Scotch drinkers deal in ABV and bourbon drinkers deal in proof.
Well, why does the rest of the world use a different numeric system than we do for measurements and stuff? We're like the only ones. Because we
I
gotta
know,
be different. We gotta be special and unique.
I mean, I guess either way, each party is having to do math. Either you're dividing it or you're multiplying it by 2.
I was literally trying to do measurement conversions the other day, and I was like, this is stupid. It should just be the same.
Well, and I looked it up. Of course, it was a few years ago. I did look up why, and I forget what the reason why American distillers went to the proof. doubling it, basically. I don't know.
Joey Tony Bagadonis
don't-
is asking, are all these releases high proof? And they all are barrel proof.
Yes. Yep. 99% of what we release are single barrel, single malt scotches. We have done, we're branching out. I think we're bringing to market 10 or 12 different American whiskeys this year. Bourbons, ryes,
I like it.
American single malts, corn whiskeys. We've done a few rums, cognacs, and armagnacs. Everything is single barrel, barrel strength. We don't water anything down. I think 3 or 4 years ago, we did our first blends. Scotch Malt Whiskey Society did their first blends. They are released at 50% ABV, and there is a new blended batch. It's our blended batch number 14 is coming out this Thursday. So, and it's port
Chat-
finished.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you're going to wish you hadn't said that, Sarah.
I wish I hadn't because there's a comment I'd like to address, but go ahead.
No, you address the comment first. Is it the super chat?
No, it's right above that. A couple above that, multicasking. Wanted to know what is our favorite SMWS profile, and I think that's kind of what we're trying
to find out by the end of this
figure out.
episode. We'll
Yeah,
try
of
that.
the ones we're able to try, what's our favorite? But do you have a favorite, Scott?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't want to tell you yet.
Okay. Yeah.
he's gonna
We'll save that
save
to
it.
the end.
He
Big
doesn't wanna
reveal. Everyone stick around to the
influence.
end. Scott is going to tell us what his
He doesn't
favorite
want to
profile is.
influence us. This one I feel like is sitting a little hotter. for me.
The stupid thing that I was going to say
Go ahead with your stupid thing.
was I just thought that there could be a very niche, very specific comedian who only deals with the differences between Scotch and bourbon people. You ever notice how, the Scotch people deal with ABV? I mean, what's the deal with that? And they're always talking about casks. This is cask strength. It's like, I say it's barrel proof. And then that would Sky likes it. And then that would.
That's good.
And then that would basically be a set. Like, well, that's all I got. You've been a great audience.
This is Chad dipping a toe into becoming a specifically whiskey comedian. He wants to see if he can make it.
Chad, the whiskey comedian.
He'll get hired for tasting events and stuff to do a 10-minute set.
I don't
He'll
have a
do
tight
great.
5.
He'll
I
do
have a
great.
tight 32nd.
Yeah. He'll do fine.
So I did figure when I tasted this one does have a little bit more on the palate, a little bit more mouthfeel than the first two. Lining this up, I kind of figured or thought this could possibly be a bourbon lover's favorite so far, but I think the way the spicy and sweet seems to be
That was my favorite.
so far.
I will say, with a couple drops of water, I like this one better. It's less of that, the finish that I was talking about where it's maybe a little intense for me.
I might even put a
It kind
couple
of
more
evens
drops.
it out a bit, but I do get the mouthfeel that you're talking about. Like, it does really coat your mouth, and I like that a lot. And I like the vanilla and the oak and everything. It's just that, maybe it's that extra tobacco influence or something towards the finish that, for me, it's just a little intense. People are making fun of me in the chat and being like, wait until you try more. But
I feel like, Sarah, if you and I were smokers, if we enjoyed, puffing on a cigar, that profile would resonate more with us, and we'd like it more. But since we're just not smokers and might puff on a cigar once a year, it's just not hitting us.
okay.
But we do have a super chat. Want to get to,
Let's do it.
Sarah?
Okay.
Oh, you don't have it there. Sorry.
No, I got it.
I got it.
Mamuka 1977.
Yes.
For me personally, I enjoy any kind of whiskey. It is experience, and it's getting together with friends and family and so on and having a great experience. I agree. I mean,
agreed.
that's why I don't feel pressured to like Scotch, but I want to become versed in it because...
And open-minded about it.
And open-minded because I think there will be situations where we're with people who maybe don't drink bourbon, who drink more Scotch, and I want to be able to enjoy something in that situation and be able to talk about it.
I mean, we do go to the Whiskey Vault once a year, so
Right.
it's like if
The
we're in
vault
the
is
tower,
wasted upon us because we're just like, where's the bourbon?
we find our corner.
They're
we
like,
do.
yeah, it's on that shelf
It's over there. No, they've got plenty, but
do,
it's
yeah.
just such a huge, amazing collection, and it's like, I want to know more about this,
For all we haven't cheers in a while. For all those super chats that have come in tonight, cilantro
Cheers.
dummies.
Oh,
I
to
stole
coin
that.
a term.
I stole your catchphrase.
You're gonna let him
You didn't
do
copyright it. I copyrighted it.
that? You're gonna
Written
let
it.
him?
Every time you say it, you owe me $5 now. So sorry.
Okay.
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 Next one.
Next one.
Juicy oak and vanilla.
I like it better after I added even more water.
I liked it with the first dash of water.
I liked it with the first batch of water. I didn't add even more water. Maybe I should.
I do get. I'm getting a little bit more of that tobacco, almost like a cigarette
Yes.
taste now.
See, that's why I said I didn't want to say ashtray, but
Yeah.
it came to mind.
A tobacco taste.
A tobacco taste.
All right, this one.
Ooh, he rubbed
Oh,
his
we're-
hands like
we're
just
switching-
you
we're
wait.
switching
oh
glasses.
my gosh. You can just put this off to the side now.
Yeah.
This is our orange label or orange burnt copper color. Deep, rich, and dried fruits right here.
I like those sound
Oh,
good.
it's so
Deep,
out of-
rich, and dried fruit sounds
So,
So-
out of focus, but
Most of these, and this one included, are going to be some sort of a sherry casking. So let's look. This is a 14-year-old Speyside. It's had a double maturation. First cask being an ex Oloroso American oak butt,
okay.
and the second cask is a first fill ex PX Spanish oak butt or Pedro Jimenez. So
Ex
Oloroso and a
PX.
PX.
Okay.
XPX.
Yes.
Both sherry. Which,
MXPX.
admittedly, Chad and I are very hit or miss on sherry things.
Okay.
This will be
But
interesting.
it's usually sherry finished bourbons or American
Ooh.
whiskeys. Not so much Scotch that we have experience with. So
How did the dog look at me just from hearing me chew? She's like, food?
food. You're eating something?
This
Actually,
one.
I would like some of those too,
Yeah, I
just to, you know.
After
we-
those 3 rounds, just get a little, you know.
This one, you'll notice the color is a little bit
it's
darker.
darker.
That's going to be from
From
the
the wine?
from the sherry casks. Yep.
This could
Now-
pass as bourbon.
You guys,
You-
I really think cashews work as a good palate cleanser.
Yeah. Probably.
That was my fault. I'm sorry. I feel really
I did
bad.
have
Gone.
a thought. Now
Oh,
it's
there it
gone.
went.
I know. It's like whoop.
Yeah, we were talking
Whoop.
about the sherry,
Oh,
and
it's
then
fine.
I was like, no,
Oh,
die thought,
cashew.
die. This cashew is really good.
It needed to be said.
Yeah. Oh, did I say 56.4? These are actually, and wasn't paying. I literally just paid attention to my flavor profiles when I was grabbing bottles. Most of our bottles are going to be over 60% ABV. This one's another one just under at 56.4%. So
12.8.
Yep.
Okay. Now it's just a point of pride.
Welcome to It's Math Night.
Yeah. Where Sarah looks stupid and tries to add up numbers.
Where she tries to do basic
Rip.
addition or multiplication in under 10 seconds.
Where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
I remembered what I was going to say.
you
Go
may
for it.
speak freely.
You had brought up sherry finished bourbons.
Right.
And I've had tried several. The problem to me with bourbon in a sherry barrel is that bourbon has such a strong flavor profile to begin with. Mm-hmm. It's really, the sherry is having a hard time breaking through
Sure.
with bourbon.
It's kind of fighting each other.
They're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Scotch, a little bit different because you can put, especially if it like this one's spent its whole time in sherry casks, 14 years in sherry casks. They just have to be oak.
Oh, wow.
So-
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What's the number on this one? I saw it was 40 for distillery 41.
Oh, yeah, I did not. 41.144. And this one is not available right now. I think we sold out of this one.
Oh, a deep soul.
So distillery 41, and this was the 144th cask that we had bought from.
Crazy.
From the nose, this is the most intimidating one so far for me. Like,
It gives me a little bit of PTSD on those.
PTSD. Like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
PT.
PT. PD.
PDSD.
Okay. Okay.
PTSD of those like Octomores that have been handed to me, and I'm like, hi, and yeah, but
I think it's. I mean, from the nose, it's what I would refer to as tobacco. Again, not being a person who has a lot of experience with tobacco, that's what I would call. But I also get some of that wine influence on the nose too.
It's a little bit of it's kind of tobacco, leathery. That sherry will start to show through. You're going to get some dark fruits here, plums, raisins,
Yeah, for sure. I also get like a tiny bit of dark chocolate.
dark chocolates.
Yeah.
root beer.
Okay.
It's something you could say if you wanted to be wrong.
Is a beverage that you sometimes drink.
Yeah. We do have a couple super chats before we get into tasting this, if you want to throw them up there,
I sure
Chad.
do. First one's from CD Andrews.
Yes. Super chat for the MXPX reference.
Boom. When you were doing all your SMWSA or whatever it was, I said MXPX. It's a band. Thank you for that.
Lost on me. I have no
I
idea
lost
what he's
that
talking
one,
about. Don't
Over
know.
their heads.
Yep.
And then Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin, who gave us a lovely super chat for exploring new things. We appreciate your appreciation.
Hey, cilantro.
We gotta learn because we gotta expand our palates for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's work, right?
That's right.
It's a
Yeah.
job.
It's all in the name of science.
Somebody's gotta
We
do
do this so you don't have to.
Thank you, Perry and Kilco, for handling that bot. We
you go.
appreciate it.
Whoa, okay. There's things I like about this. There's things I don't like about this. Things I like about this.
Has a
Has a good personality.
nice mouthfeel.
It has a good color.
It's not you, it's me.
No, I like the richness.
Ooh.
It's got a good mouthfeel.
It does have a nice mouthfeel, and it's very rich.
But then there's that PTSD. Even though this isn't peated, but it's the can you say Band-Aids on here? Like,
Yeah. Band-Aids is a note.
yeah, it's got that dipping a pole
Fishing?
into Band-Aids territory for me.
Okay, I've
There-
had one sip, so I'm gonna go back.
There is a hint of smoke or maybe peat on this one.
Yeah, I
as
get
well.
that.
On the
Smoke.
tail end, a hint, a peat. Yeah.
For Scott, it's this much. For Chad, it's
Yeah.
The first, up until I just took a sip, right now, is when that smoke is settling in on the back of my palate. The front part of the palate, I love it. I think it's delicious. And then that smoke and a little bit of that peat, and yeah, that really settles in like towards the back of my tongue. And that's the part where I'm like, maybe not for
Before,
me.
good.
But the first half, the first 5 seconds of that tasting experience, I really enjoy this.
I like the very beginning of the palate, and I'm liking now that it's been a minute and a half since I had a drink. I'm liking the finish, but there's that period after the finish, or I'm sorry, after the palate and before the extra finish. That's a little.
But I have to say, like, we've been trying more of these things over the years, and I'm getting used to it. I mean, I think it's in the same way that I
Right.
get used to high-proof bourbons. And I kind of, like, it's like, when you find a taste that's so different and weird, and at first you're like, ugh, what is that?
Right.
And I don't like that. And then you slowly start to be like, oh, I like that weird, different taste.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm getting
You're
to where, I like this.
You're like, maybe it's not too bad.
Maybe this smoky taste isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Holy moly, we got a big super chat here. This is a big one from
Another
Kevin.
one? I already
Yep.
said that one.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't notice it was so large.
That's what she said.
Hello. Nice.
Wow, I think should I leave and then you guys can just finish this episode?
that might
I
be
feel
best.
like it's boys Scotch night.
That might be better.
I did, so I grabbed the wrong bottle. I'd forgot this one did have the hint of the peat in there. I did mean to just grab one that was just sherried. It's
all right.
But no, it's good. Like you say, it's one of those, it's faint. It's on the back end. It's on the tail end. It's in there. The sherry on this one, though, definitely on the front. That's
Yeah, I
that
like that on
strong,
the front.
robust flavor that you're
Yeah.
picking up, those dark fruits.
Yeah.
And it does have a good mouthfeel.
Even burnt toffees and coffee.
The more I sip this one, and maybe it's just because I've had 3 more before this, the more I sip it, the more I'm like, no. I mean, it's intimidating and I would like some water.
Yeah, let's do some water.
Maybe this wouldn't be one that I was look at a menu and say, I want that. But if somebody gave me this, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm down. I'll drink this for sure. Thanks for the pour. Appreciate it.
Would you
You
like
know-
to read Eric's comment there, Scott?
The sniper.
Wait, where?
It's not up over here yet. Insider secret: Scott is Chad's grandfather.
Wow. Ouch. How are they going to play you like that? How's Eric going to play you like
What do we
that?
call Eric the sniper? Because he comes in with comments like that.
little,
You think
uh,
So
three,
he lays
three
in the
drops
he
stuff?
lays in the weeds, and you don't know he's there, and then all of a sudden,
He stalks
Yeah.
you.
a few drops,
you have
Three.
been sniped.
I'm surprised by how, it's been a while since I've had a Scotch. So,
Yeah, it's been a minute.
how are you feeling, Chad?
Scotchy.
like I'm his grandfather.
That's very educational, Chad. Thank you.
You know what they say, like grandfather, like
Actually,
grandson.
grandson.
We both got a beard. Mine's gray.
flannel
hat
on.
Mine's gray. We both got flannel. I've got my It's Bourbon Night hat on.
You know,
Chad will
I-
be there soon
Wait.
enough.
Yeah, I tried to find my Scotch Dummies hat because
I know where it
I
is.
know we traded.
I know where it is.
Oh, you know where it is?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't ask me for it.
Well, I thought I had all my hats in the same place, but I went through them and I'm like, it's not here.
Shows how much you
So
know.
I was gonna wear it. Sorry. But
You can
speaking
blame it on
of,
me.
you can get this hat plus this
Oh,
hat
gosh.
plus the shirt that I'm wearing that you can't see at whiskeyambitions.com. That's where you can also get well, not that coin anymore, but coins. Glencairn's Copitas we've been drinking out of that have the glass hats on it. That's whiskeyambitions.com.
This smells much less intimidating with a few drops of water.
Yeah.
I think
Look
it.
at that nice dark fruit.
I think
and
it.
chocolate.
I think it tames down the peat a little bit in it too. It definitely brought out more of the sweetness, more of the toffees. Mouth feels a little bit velvet.
Oh.
More velvety.
Yes.
Water.
100%.
Water.
The water was a necessary add here.
Yeah.
A big difference. Like
So much more,
when
like
we
you
had
said,
water with
velvety.
bourbon, we're not seeing that much of a or it's usually to the detriment.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
oh, I missed that mouthfeel. I like killed the mouthfeel or whatever it is. Here,
Still mouthfeel excellent, but
I see
it
why
really
people are always talking about adding water.
Scotch and
with
water, yeah.
Scotch.
I think with scotches, 9 out of 10, water changes them.
Yeah.
Only rarely does it not. So I always encourage people, if you love it neat, drink it neat by all means.
Sure.
But try it with a drop of water and just see what happens. Try it with 2 drops of water. So, but yeah, this is one. I think the water helped it, and that's one thing I say too. When you take something that's close to 60%, 56 to 65%, all of that flavor in there is just compacted. And when you give it time to air, or you add a little bit of water, it just kind of helps open up some of those notes.
Chad loves Scotch. Scotchy, Scotch.
Down in my belly.
Down in my belly.
This is shooting up the list with the few drops of water.
Definitely with the water. Now, I would like
I think
to
this might be my second
try.
favorite.
Would you leave us a little sample of this?
Yes.
Because I'd
Yeah.
like to try this on a
Fresh palate.
completely fresh
Yeah,
palate.
you bet.
Yeah, thank you. Got a few more
All
super
right.
chats
Well,
here.
that's muddled. I don't know.
Let's
why I'm
move
so-
down to our last one, which
Oh.
is peated.
Okay.
Is definitely
Definitely peated.
peated.
Okay.
From Tony Joey Bag of Donuts saying, "Give him the peat, Scott."
He,
Can't believe this is my second Scotch night in February already. Wow, Tony.
you want it? You got it.
Glenn with a nice super chat saying,
You'll be used to the peat."
used to the peat. Well, hopefully.
Can I push my agenda for the rest of the week real quick?
Go for it.
Absolutely.
So I'm on the road all week for the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. This is my first stop, well, second stop. I stopped in Nashville last night, and Ben and I streamed on the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society YouTube channel. Tomorrow night, I'm going up to Columbus, Ohio, meeting up with Jason, the Mash and Drum. We'll be live on his channel, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The next night, Thursday night, I'm going up to Michigan, meeting up with Dan and Sean, the Bourbon Junkies. And we'll stream with them on their channel, again, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday night, finishing up in Indianapolis with the Scotch for Dummies on their channel. So it's a full week.
What a
Nice.
week.
Good week. We've got and we'll wait till we get done here. We've got a special running this week. If I can mention that real quick.
Absolutely.
Dan,
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
For sure.
But my goal here was to just bring the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society whiskeys are broke down into 12 flavor profiles, and I kind of wanted to see which flavor profile may align with bourbon lovers. I think we're 3 for 4 so far.
Yeah, I would agree.
They've been faring Weller 12.
Chad,
Weller,
where's your mind
Weller
at?
Special Reserve, Weller Foolproof, Weller.
Oh my gosh.
They have been faring better than my initial thoughts. Yeah,
Good.
for
good.
sure. For sure. Also, our dog
Has
is,
been possessed by like a bundle of energy, had like ran upstairs, got a toy, brought it down here, and is running back and
Like,
forth in
doing
the
the
basement.
shake, I'm killing
And
it thing.
She knocked a bottle over. She's been shaking her toy so hard. Anyways,
So if you saw,
That's why we're
if
like,
you saw crazy
"Ugh."
eyes pointed over in that direction.
wasn't about Scott.
That's why. Well, 50-50.
So, and those tuning in are tuning in a little bit later. 12 flavor profiles. We've gone through 4 of them. We started with our spicy and sweet flavor profile. We went to our spicy and dry profile over here, then down to juicy oak and vanilla. We just did the deep, rich, and dried fruits, and we're moving on to our last whiskey in our peated category.
Holy crap.
Ooh, I'm a little nervous.
Peated whiskey. Anytime you're doing a Scotch tasting, a Scotch lineup, anything that's peated, you always put it at the end of the tasting because the peat moves in on the palate. It takes over, and
I mean, I've had a peated Scotch before that I could taste hours later.
Mm-hmm.
So
This
I feel
one-
your recommendation to try it last, I think, makes sense. I don't know why I'm so intimidated.
I'm still.
It's just a bottle.
I'm
It
still
can't
on the
hurt.
last
It can't
one.
hurt me.
no. And you don't have to drink it.
No.
I mean, if
you're
you
right.
taste it, and you're like, okay, that's enough. I'm done.
Wow, that's some light
Again?
stuff.
So I didn't go over the bottle specifics on this one. Let's
Wait
look
till
real
you get
quick.
them all poured.
So we do have the 3 different categories of peated whiskeys: lightly peated, peated, and heavily peated. This is the middle category, peated. This is a Highland whiskey, sourced. Our cask number here is 122.43. So this is the 122nd distillery that we've purchased whiskey from. It's the 43rd cask from that. It's named Conjuring Up All Sorts of Images.
Just to think that there's that many distilleries. even
Right.
To purchase
yeah.
from.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's all Scotch. That's the Scotch. We have
That's just
different
Scotch.
systems for different, like
Right.
our American whiskeys, we've got different numbering for.
Those are lower.
I get like a peaty and a citrus, but it also smells like the ocean, like being at the beach.
9-year-old, I think I said 61.9%, so we did finally break the 60% ABV here
Finally.
from a second fill ex-bourbon barrel.
About time. I'm
So
tired
at
of
least
this
there's
low
that.
proof stuff.
Chad?
I'm kidding.
So, and this is a little bit different as well because probably 90% of your peated scotches come from Islay, the island of Islay, a separate. So this is a Highland Scotch that's been peated.
Is it coastal?
That has been noted with some of the notes and stuff that has come up on this.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I
I think
know. I'm sure if you said this coastal distillery
Oh, wow.
from Highlands would maybe give it away, but it smells like if you were walking the beach in a foggy morning or something.
Copper Bone says, just bought my first bottle of Scotch Sunday. Monkey Shoulder.
yeah, that's a blend.
Is that
Good.
a
That's
popular
decent.
entry?
That's
yeah, it's
what a
real
lot of
good
people have
entry.
recommended that to us to
Yeah.
start with.
It's about a $30 bottle. Yeah, it's decent.
What's that one that that's a distillery, so odd, sent us a sample of a Scotch. It's only happened once.
I have no idea.
It starts with an H. It's a black bottle.
I have no idea.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
either.
you're gonna keep blanking on that the rest of the night.
There's a
let's see.
gin in a black bottle called Hendrix.
No, it was
Okay.
it was a Scotch.
I don't know.
It's
Nick
like
wants to
another,
know:
like, $20 or $30
do you
one.
guys pick bourbons? Which you've talked about a little bit, especially with like your American
Yeah.
base.
Well, and that's just it. With so the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society originated in Scotland. We've branched out all over the world. America, we've got our own branch here. We're trying to we want to bring more American whiskeys especially to our members here in the States. This year, I think we've got 10 or 12 lined up to bring. When we had you guys on the first time, we did a corn whiskey that we released.
Yep.
We do have a bourbon whiskey coming out later this month. And then throughout the year, I think there's another 10 or 12 casks that we've got lined up from, ryes or bourbons, corn whiskey. I think there is another corn whiskey coming soon or an American single malt, along those lines. But yeah, we want to bring more to our American members. So
Nice. Oh, you
How about-
found it.
how about a little mint or like a evergreen?
I get like
forest?
that effervescence. Of,
Zoe.
she knocked over one of your bottles.
What a menace.
Normally she just lays there quietly and sleeps through this
Not
whole
when
thing.
Scott's
Not
here.
when Scott's
It's
here.
like, it's time
She's
to
like,
party.
my friend's here. I got to show off.
little earthy. There's a little bit of
There's like an earthy herbal,
herbal,
like a
vegetal.
rosemary or something. I don't know.
Vegetal.
Now,
Yeah.
is there something that you all call the Band-Aid smell? Is there a descriptor note for that?
Generally, it's going to accompany, say, a medicinal or an iodine type.
Iodine, okay.
Yeah. Some
Getting a
people
little
would
bit of
say,
that. A little bit of that.
Band-Aid.
But yeah, earthy. Also, Still the sharpness, the crispness. You know, that's
It almost
that's
feels
been
like
sort of throughout all
when
of
you
these.
smell something, they're like, smell this, it'll wake you up, it'll pop your eyes open.
Oh,
like
smelling
tasting,
sauce?
no, tasting that made me go.
Good.
I can breathe through my nose now, like wasabi, you know?
Did we miss a super chat? Yeah, we got one here. Let's go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead and hit this from Pudding War. Says, if you want to get that smoke out of your mouth, drink some with a lot of citric acid, orange juice, or Mountain Dew, etc.
Oh,
All right.
That's interesting. Never heard that. That's
Good
good.
tip.
Good to know too.
Thank you.
And I found-
Try
But
it.
why would you want to get that taste out of your mouth?
It was Magnus.
Oh, so it started with
Oh,
an
Highland
H.
Park.
Yeah.
Magnus.
Highland Park. That's the H I was thinking of. Yeah, they sent us this, and we're like,
Chad was like, it's Bourbon night.
I said it's Bourbon night.
That's their entry. I think that's $30, $35 range. Something like it's pretty.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's a good entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. Sarah, you kind of, scared me.
It's not making me go like, "Bleh, I don't like it. Right? It's
Right.
just different. It woke me up. It felt like, again, like you said, that like minty, pine, earthy,
Yes, yes.
herbal effervescence that makes you, like mint. The flavors can be intense and make you like feel more awake in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it has things in common with like the first two that we had that had that very crisp, very clean
Yeah, crisp clean.
type of thing where I said like Sprite or like a cocktail with ginger beer, that type of almost like a peppermint would do, not a peppermint flavor, but like how a peppermint wakes you up, and people pop a peppermint if they're like taking a test because it's supposed to stimulate brain activity and all that. It kind of has that like snap you out of it, wake you up type of thing.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, if you're feeling ill,
Mm-hmm.
do people ever say to drink something like this? Because I feel like I can actually breathe deeper or something.
That's where the hot toddy comes from. Is Scotch.
Oh, I didn't
And-
know that.
It was that Scotch and lemon juice.
Okay.
Was that it? Is that all that's in
Well,
it?
honey.
Honey, water. You can put some tea in there if you
Yeah.
want.
Oops. I think did I give you water?
I think
did.
so.
You
yeah.
did.
I didn't even ask if you wanted it.
No, I
Or
did.
did-
I
It's
that
too
was
late.
okay.
You
I
don't
set
want
it
to.
down there for you.
No, I feel like I can get a deeper, like almost like when things are like menthol rub on your chest or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can get that deep breath in that way.
A little bit of that evergreen or kind of that forestry, the mintiness there.
yeah.
But a little bit of those kind of those same citrus fruits we got on. Was it the third one, the juicy oak and vanilla, or even the first one? Those
The
lighter,
first and the third, yeah.
kind of there's kind of a lemon zest, orange zest, maybe a pear in here. Underneath the peat and the earthiness and
Oh, I
the
like the
vegetal.
nose better with a couple drops of water.
Not tried yet. Your next victim, Jason Maschendrum, is in the house.
Ah,
Your next victim?
I'm sorry, your next visit?
I'm sure he'll be more well behaved than you are.
No doubt. You better be Jason.
He always is.
Wow.
What a good guy.
Whew, man.
more sweetness after the water. Still nice, and to me there's more peat on the palate than there is the nose.
Peat on the palate.
I think I like
Joseph-
that one better without the water.
Joseph Brazo, I think he must be joining us because he's saying it's Scotch night.
Question mark. It is Scotch
It is Scotch night.
It's on a Tuesday.
Tuesday night is for this week of this month of this year only. It's Scotch night.
That's what I like
So
to
I
hear.
have to say, I think I like the flavors better with a couple drops of water, but like the experience, it almost came across a little bit hotter with a couple drops of water for me.
More of a mouthfeel. I mean, more of kind of
It was-
more like it had
It
more,
had
of,
more
a
of a punch. Yeah, with a couple drops of water. So I think I like the mouthfeel better pre-water, but I like the flavors better post-water.
I gotta agree with you. Yeah.
I was right for once.
Once.
According to Chad.
For once. Okay, I mean, obviously, knowing us, you didn't bring out any of these. Well, you brought it's this one, right?
It's the
didn't-
mid-level
I mean,
peat.
there's like one more level,
You didn't bring us the.
No.
and you didn't die. You're
No,
fine.
I mean, yeah.
He's doing okay. Look at
Doing
him.
okay.
He's thriving over there.
Doing okay. How are you?
I do have. If you do, you want to do another peated? I've got another peated. If you just a taste, or you can have as much as you want.
It's up to you,
We
Chad.
just released it today. It's a Vaults collection. It's a 26-year-old Isla.
I mean,
26-year-old sounds pretty good.
if anybody wants to stick around for that.
Now,
you know.
keep in mind, like I talked about, a peat over time diminishes. So at
Right.
26 years, it's lighter peat than what you have here.
Okay.
But you've got a 26-year-old Scotch in there. If you guys want, I think we can
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it real quick.
go.
Oh, good
Where?
job.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. We can rinse
We're making our own.
Or
blend.
we have Glen
It's
fresh.
too late.
Okay.
We're on a time crunch, Chad. We're already in overtime.
Oh,
They don't
No.
Are we
know.
on the time? Oh.
No, it's fine.
There's no rules on Tuesdays.
Yeah, there's no Tuesday rules. They want
just
to.
no more that's what she said jokes.
Right.
That's the only rule that I
Yeah.
request.
Wait, that was me.
No more bro jokes.
No more what?
bro joke.
Bro jokes. Oh, our friends from the podcast are in here.
Oh no, there goes the neighborhood.
You leave them alone. He said I'm not okay with this. You're gonna have to get okay with it.
All right. So
We're bringing this to Whiskey
It's a
Weekend.
big box.
while I'm getting this out, yeah, this is our Vaults collection. These are specially hand-selected casks, generally older.
How could we have said no to this?
Yeah.
Right.
It gets its own nice.
It's an unboxing video. These are great on YouTube.
Well, no, Ben and I did this last night, so it's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
That ain't cardboard.
This is in our old and dignified
Wait.
profile.
Do you click this button and then? I love a good.
I would
click a button
say
and it opens.
If I were a profile, I would be old and dignified.
Should just slide
No,
out.
No.
Get locked in there.
I'm being too gentle.
There we go. Okay, so real quick, this week, because of YouTube and Valentine's Day coming up, SMWS is running a promotion. Memberships for the year, an annual membership for the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society is $99. This week and up till Valentine's Day, anybody that buys a membership will get a $50 gift card to use on your first purchase.
Whoa.
So
Boom.
basically about 50% off the joint. Now after that, to stay a member is $70 a year, so it does come down.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
That is a
But-
good gift, though.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can gift, like, Chad, if you didn't have anything for Sarah for Valentine's Day, you can
don't.
buy her the membership, right? And she'll get an email on Valentine's Day welcoming her to the society and saying you'd gifted her the membership. So it's like you didn't have to get her anything.
It's like you did
but
the
it's
work
there.
for him.
You won't
Yes.
remember this, right?
Yeah.
Or
Or anybody
some
out
more.
there, if you need something, if you have that person, you know, in your life and you don't have anything, you can get them a
And
membership.
you can say it's also from Chad.
Well, it's just cool because then they have access to the pours that they want. You know?
Speaking of Jason from the Mash and Drum, we have a super chat from the man himself. He says, "Can't wait to sip some of these single cask Scott. Chad and Sarah always always nice being able to catch you live. Hope Scott is going easy on you. LOL." Yeah, Jason, pretty easy tonight. I feel like. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see after this one.
I don't
I
feel
was-
like I've gone outside my comfort zone.
I was hoping to just, like I said, kind of open your eyes and just make you a little bit more receptive to Scotch.
No, I would say that you've done
And
an
I
excellent
think
job of that.
That happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So this is a 26 year. This we just released today. It's part of our Vaults collection. Cask number 29.278, which is a well-known Isla distillery.
Oh,
For 26 years, this is a high ABV, 57%. Usually a 26-year-old Scotch, you're probably going to be around 48, 49%, just because the ABV coming down over time.
Yeah.
This one somehow stayed up at 57%, and it's from a second fill ex-bourbon barrel.
okay.
Well, got another super chat here from Pudding War. Says, I'm not a big fan of Scotch,
Thank
but
you.
tried Isla and fell in love. I
Thank you.
do smoke cigars,
Chad's
and as a kid, chewed on chewed on my Band-Aids. Okay, I was like, what does that say? At Cold of Ardbeg. What does that say?
Corey, okay, no.
Yeah.
Don't know it.
I'm not sure if that's a Scotch thing, if it's a whiskey vault, Cult of Ardbeg
Oh, yeah.
thing. Don't know how
I'm
to
not
pronounce
sure.
it. But
All
thank
right.
you.
Well, here we go.
Oh, Corey Vrecken.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
You need a
Ardbeg.
Scotch drinker
Ardbeg Corey Vrecken.
to say that.
Whoa.
Hey, for all them recent super chats, Cilantro. Whoa is right.
That's what I said.
Definitely darker.
More iodine, maybe?
That's well known with this distillery.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You'll probably find on the palate, though, the peat a little bit less intense on this one for after 26 years.
Woo.
Woohoo! Less?
That could be a misstatement.
I'm like,
It's
is
still-
it?
It's still up there. It's still up there, the peat, after 26 years.
This is the peatiest that we've had
No.
tonight.
Oh, no, you think? Mm-hmm. You think that's peatier than the 9-year-old
one?
we just had?
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe there's some
on
other...
the finish. It's more like throughout. It's peatier, whereas the other one it really got peaty on the finish. I think.
I think there's other contributing factors that are making this more pronounced in the profile. Whether it's more of it or not, it kind of doesn't matter because it's more on display, I guess. Does that make sense? Anybody?
Well, going back to
I
back
don't
with
know.
that 9-year peat, it is pretty close. Last night when I had it, I thought the peat was real faint in this.
You were.
It is pretty close to the peat, the peated profile. So like that 9-year, we had those citrusy, those lighter fruity notes. They're gone here, and I think that's because of the 26
Yeah.
year. This is definitely a darker,
It is darker.
brown sugars, earthiness. Outside of the peat, trying to get what's underneath it. Those citrus notes are gone. Even here's a little leather and tobacco for you as well.
Yeah.
Underneath that peat.
I'm getting all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, you do kind of have to try to silence your mind of that so you can look under there and you can see, there's some leather, tobacco, there's some age happening here for sure.
Would you describe this as dry? I'm getting like a little bit of
I don't think
starting-
it's very dry.
a little
It's
dryness on the finish.
starting to be.
Not like super dry or anything, but I noticed that like it feels like once I'm done with it, the moisture's almost gone from my mouth.
26 years of oak tannins. there,
That makes
too.
sense. Okay, so like the difference between dryness and tannic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar experience, but
I'm ready for
being
some
able to
water.
split the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try some water.
I'll just stick with 3 to start with.
Good.
Can always add more. It's harder to take it out.
There will be a lot of SMWS members jealous that you guys got to try this Vaults collection.
Oh. Well, in that case, Chad loves it.
Weller. Oh, it happened again.
So I'll tell you, peated, the deep, rich, and dried fruits, the sherry finished stuff. That's my kid, by the way. A senior picture.
I thought that was a
Aw.
younger you.
I was like, who's this musician that's got like so much on his screensaver?
that's my kid.
Your kid? Well, he looks like he's about to be country music's next best thing.
Or indie. You don't know if it's country.
Well, indie country rock.
You know.
You know, not straight up country.
Uh-oh.
That
I
was-
just lost mine.
You lost your close up.
No more close up for you.
That's right. I think people had enough.
You've been out of focus this whole time anyway.
Yeah.
You had like one sweet spot.
Old Man Joe wants to know, and thank you for the super chat.
Let me
if
put
our
that up.
VIP tasting at Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 is going to be Scotch based. No.
No.
We're
Maybe
exploring.
one?
We're
No.
exploring. We're on a journey, but we're not fully converted. I mean, it's not like a full 180 lifestyle change. You know?
No.
But
I
we're
mean,
exploring. We're trying new things. We're
dipping a toe
stretching
in.
our legs.
That's
You know.
That's what college is for.
Now you can
Experiment.
Oh
now,
my god.
now you can say, yeah, I experimented in college.
Yeah, I tried scotch.
Yeah, now you can say I've had some good scotches. There are some good ones out there,
Right.
Agreed.
but I
There
still
are.
prefer bourbon.
I like
It's
it.
true.
I like it.
But if you poured, I mean, honestly, 3 out of 5 of these, if you pour this for me, not only, like if I say I could drink it, I feel like that sounds like I could suffer through it, right? But I could drink it and I would enjoy it.
You can see yourself.
Yeah, I could see myself enjoying this. I wouldn't be like, ugh, can't wait till I'm done with this so I can get to the next thing. Like, I would actually enjoy it,
So I can order some Blantons.
which is a new experience for me.
Well, thanks to you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
This has been a journey that we would not have taken if it were not for you being our Sherpa in this experience. So
This is the top of the mountain.
Yes, this is the summit. We have reached the summit. This has been great. Yeah, thanks to you, Scott. Thanks to the Scotch Malt.
Oh yeah, is that what?
The Scotch
Malt Whiskey Society.
SMWS.com.
.com.
Be sure to take advantage of that promo code that Scott was talking about.
What was it again?
Well, no promo code. Just anybody that subscribes this week, because of Valentine's Day coming up and with this YouTube tour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody if you buy, you can gift a membership or you can buy a membership. It's going to cost you $99, and you'll get a $50 gift card to use on your first purchase.
Boom.
So 50% off.
Mic drop.
Go to SMWS, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society America's YouTube channel as well.
Oh,
Subscribe to it. I'm going to try to get more content posted on there. That's part of my job now.
He's the man.
Go to the Scotch Test Dummies as well, if you don't know.
If you like Scott and you want to see more of Scott.
I'm on there a lot.
And Barb. He is on there a lot.
And the other guy.
He's like, you're like 50%.
And that other guy named Barb, but who cares? No, I'm just kidding.
what do you call it? I don't know. His shirts with all the stuff on.
In
manga
summary,
shirts.
Manga.
In summary, I really like the sweet and spicy, the spicy and dry, and the juicy oak and vanilla. Did I like the juicy oak? Or was it the deep, rich, and dried fruits?
Deep, rich, and dried fruits you liked once the water got
That's
in there.
what
You
it
were
was.
digging the little bit, the hint. There was a hint of peat in there.
The spicy and dry, the sweet and spicy I think was my favorite, but the deep, rich, and dried fruits with some water was my second favorite. So that's how I felt. And then the spicy and dry. Oh yeah, well, I said those things. That's fine.
Pretty much on board.
You feel
I
the
should
same?
have brought all
Yes, sir,
12. For us.
I mean, we
boy.
would have been going for like 3 hours.
Woo, marathon live stream there. Yeah.
But
Wowzers.
thanks for giving us some entertainment on this Tuesday night that would have otherwise been very boring.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you much.
Yeah.
So go, hit subscribe on all those places. If you're not subscribed here, hit subscribe for God's sake. And on your way out, please give us one of these if you feel like we earned it. We got 127 of these right now.
What?
There's 199 people in here right now. So give one of them when we
There's
go
like
out.
60-something people that didn't give us a thumbs up. How dare they?
Oh, come on. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much again, Scott, for taking us on this journey.
Thank you.
It was edifying.
It was fun.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm
And we'll
glad.
see
You
you
guys.
on Sunday for the Bourbon Bowl.
Oh, the Bourbon Bowl. We're going to have Perry
where there will
over
be
here.
no scotch.
Yeah, it'll be all bourbon. We've already picked them. You can go watch 2 weekends ago that live stream if you want to see how we picked our bottles for our teams. But next Sunday, it will be not at the normal 8 o'clock time. It'll be, I think we're going to go live at 3.
3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be before the Super Bowl. We'll have special guest Perry from This Is My Bourbon podcast over here as the
As our referee.
in case we have a tie. And the score so far, year-wise, 2 wins to 1 win over here
Thanks,
with
Chad.
Sarah. Are we going to tie it up? Don't know.
Is Chad just going to stomp me further into the ground? We'll find out.
We'll find out. Will I
right.
keep building that dynasty? Tune in to find out.
I think it's a dynasty.
Dynasty. Dynasty?
Dynasty was a TV show. Dynasty is what you're talking about. I'm just kidding.
All
right.
They're interchangeable. All right, well, thanks so much, everybody. Where's the graphic? Here it is. We'll see you Sunday, but at 3 for the Bourbon Bowl. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.